Hello everyone, myself Dr. Rajesh S. Badigar, working as the Assistant Professor in the Department of Chemistry, JSS Arts, Science and Commerce College, Gokak, which is affiliated to Rani Chennamma University, Belagavi. Well, in the last video, I have discussed about the crystal field theory with reference to tetrahedral complex. That means how the d orbitals are going to split into Eg and T2g orbitals in case of tetrahedral ligand field around the center metal ion. Here, in case of tetrahedral complexes, the Eg orbitals are lower energy orbitals, whereas T2g orbitals are higher energy orbitals. Now the delta T, which is nothing but the magnitude of crystal field splitting in case of tetrahedral complex, is always less than the octahedral complex. So why it is delta T is always less than octahedral complex, that I am going to explain in this video. So that is delta T is less than delta naught. That means crystal field splitting in case of tetrahedral complex is always less than the crystal field splitting produced in case of octahedral complex, or this is equal to delta T is equal to 4/9 of delta naught. So in this video I will explain this one. Along with this one I will discuss about the distribution of electrons in a tetrahedral case also. So in order to explain this fact, let us consider the crystal field splitting in case of both octahedral and tetrahedral complexes. This figure shows that the 5d orbitals which are present in a center metal ion before complex formation, what we call that one as a degenerate d orbitals, are going to split into T2g and Eg orbitals in case of octahedral complex. That means when 6 ligands are attacking when 6 ligands are approaching the center metal ion in a octahedral fashion. So that means in this fashion, if the ligands are attacking the center metal ion 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then 6, in that case how the d orbitals are going to split into? They are going to split into T2g and Eg orbital. Here in case of octahedral complexes, the T2g orbitals are lower energy orbitals, whereas Eg orbitals are higher energy orbitals. But when you come to the tetrahedral complex, so that means when the 4 ligands are attacking the center metal ion in a tetrahedral fashion, the splitting will be exactly opposite to the octahedral complex. So that is why we are going to represent as delta T is equal to minus 4/9 of delta naught. That means minus means reverse order of splitting when compared to in octahedral complex. So that means when tetrahedral, in case of tetrahedral arrangement, that means 1, 2, 3, 4. So like this one, if a center metal ion is surrounded by 4 ligands in a tetrahedral field, the 5d orbitals are going to split into Eg and T2g orbitals. That means here Eg orbitals are lower in energy, whereas T2g orbitals are higher in energy, which is exactly opposite to the octahedral case. Now along with this fact, one more fact is we can observe here that the delta T, that is the magnitude of crystal field splitting in case of tetrahedral complex, it is always less than the magnitude of crystal field splitting in case of octahedral. This we can also see from this figure also. See, this is the gap between the T2g and Eg. So this much gap is there, whereas in case of tetrahedral complex it is very small. So that means why this delta T is always less than delta naught. So this fact can be explained, or this fact can be explained on the basis of 2 factors. One is number of ligands, another one is the direction of orbitals and the direction of ligand approach towards the center metal ion. On these 2 facts we can explain. So the main reasons why the delta T is less than delta naught is, there are 2 reasons. The first reason is there are only 4 ligands in a tetrahedral complex instead of 6 as in case of octahedral complex. That means in case of tetrahedral complexes only 4 ligands are attacking the center metal ion, okay, whereas in case of octahedral complexes there are 6 ligands. So ligand field is only 2/3 the size. So that means 2 ligands are less when compared to the octahedral complex. That is why the ligand field will be reduced to 2/3 of the size. Hence the crystal field splitting also reduces to 2/3 the size. The first reason is the number of ligands fact. That is, in case of octahedral complexes there are 6 ligands are approaching the center metal ion. Okay, so for example you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ligands are approaching the center metal ion. Then that means the number of ligands are 6 here, whereas in case of tetrahedral complexes only 4 ligands are approaching the center metal ion. So because of this reason, that means the less number of ligands are present in case of tetrahedral complexes, that will reduce the ligand field by 2/3. So that is why the crystal field splitting also reduces to 2/3 the size of the octahedral. Okay, the second reason is the direction of orbitals do not coincide with the direction of ligands. So that means if you observe the direction of ligands with the direction of orbitals, so that means in case of octahedral complexes where the ligands are coming, the ligands are exactly coming along the x, y and z axis. That means x, y, z axis the ligands are coming. So therefore here in case of octahedral complex, EG orbitals are exactly lying along the axis where the ligands are coming. So therefore the EG orbitals will experience more repulsion from the ligand field. So that is why the crystal field splitting will be large in case of octahedral complexes. But in case of tetrahedral complexes, if you see the position of ligands here, the position of ligands are, they are occupying the alternate corners of the cube here. So that means the direction of orbitals do not coincide with the direction of ligands. So that means in case of tetrahedral complexes, what will happen? The EG orbit lobes will come exactly at the center of the face of the cube, whereas the T2G orbit lobes will come exactly at the edge, center of the edge of the cube. So that means here either T2G orbital or EG orbitals are not coinciding with the ligand. That means both T2G and EG orbitals are away from the ligand. Hence that will also reduces the crystal field splitting roughly by 2/3. So therefore the delta T, that means the total crystal field splitting in case of delta T is equal to 2/3 into 2/3 is equal to 4/9 of octahedral splitting, that is delta naught. Therefore delta T is equal to 4/9 of delta naught, or delta T is equal to minus 4/9 of delta naught. Here minus indicates the reverse order splitting of when compared to the octahedral complex. So this fact can be explained, or by this fact can be realized by observing two examples. First one, we can take the example of hexaamine cobalt 2 complex, which is octahedral complex. If you determine its delta naught value, it has been observed that its delta naught value is 10,200 per centimeter, whereas with the same center metal ion, if you take the tetrahedral complex, that means tetraamine cobalt 2 complex, its delta T value is around 5,900. So that means the delta T value is always less than the delta naught value. So this is how we can explain why delta T is always less than the delta naught value. This fact will be very important during the calculation of crystal field stabilization energy. So that means during the distribution of electrons, this fact should be remembered, because always the delta T value will be always less than delta naught value. So therefore electrons will occupy according to Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, whether the weak field ligand is there or strong field ligand is there. Okay. So let us discuss about the distribution of electrons in a tetrahedral complex. That means distribution of electrons in EG and T2G orbitals in case of tetrahedral complex, because tetrahedral complex may contain high spin and tetrahedral complex may contain strong field and weak field ligands. Now the question comes, if a strong field ligand is there, how the distribution of electron will takes place? If weak field ligand is there, how the distribution of electron will takes place? Okay. So in order to do that one, let us consider both weak field and strong octahedral and tetrahedral, because so in case of octahedral complex, if D4 configuration is there, so that means the distribution of all the 4 electrons depends upon the nature of the ligand. So that means if weak field ligand is there, the 4th electron will occupy the EG orbital, because if in case of weak field ligand, the delta naught value will be less. If strong field ligand is there, then delta naught value will be more. Therefore the 4th electron will going to occupy T2G orbital only. That means pairing will take place in case of a strong field ligand. So that means whenever in case of octahedral complex, if you up to D3 configuration, no problem, the distribution of electron will takes place according to Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, whether the weak field ligand is involved or strong field ligand is involved in the octahedral complex formation. But when it starts from D4 configuration, then the distribution of electron depends upon the nature of the ligand. Whereas in case of tetrahedral complexes, here also the strong field ligands may cause the larger crystal field splitting when compared to weak field ligand, but the distribution of electron will always go according to Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. That means here, irrespective of nature of ligand, the distribution of electron will take place in EZ and T2G orbital. Okay. For example, up to D2 case, that means if D1 case is there, D1 configuration is there, D1 tetrahedral complex, the first electron will go to EG orbital, which is represented by only E, since due to absence of the center of symmetry here. And if D2 configuration is there, the second electron will occupy again in a EG orbital only. But what about D3 configuration, tetrahedral complex in which 3 D electrons are present? Then how to distribute? If strong field ligand is there or if weak field ligand is there, how to distribute the third electron? Here, in case of octahedral complexes or octahedral CFSE calculation, one thing we have to remember that always the crystal field splitting in case of tetrahedral complex is less when compared to octahedral complexes. Therefore, the distribution of electron will always follow the Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. That means here, for example, if you take the 3 electrons are there in a d orbital, so the first electron will go to 1, 2nd and 3rd. Whether it is a weak field ligand or strong field ligand, always electron will occupy according to Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. So if D4 case is there, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. If D5 case is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If D6 case is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then 6 electron will occupy again the EG orbital. If D7 case is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here 6 and 7 electron will again come to the EG orbital. Again in case of D8 case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If D9 case is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and then 9. Okay. If D10 case is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means here already it is well known fact that the strong field ligands causes bigger energy difference between the T2G and EZ when compared to weak field ligands. However, in case of tetrahedral complex, the tetrahedral crystal field splitting, that is delta T, is always much smaller than the octahedral crystal field splitting, that is delta naught. Thus, it is never energetically favorable to pair the electrons. Hence, all the tetrahedral complexes are high spin complexes. That means here the distribution of electron is irrespective of nature of ligand. That means always the electrons will occupy singly first and then pairing will start. So therefore, always the tetrahedral complexes are high spin complexes. That means low spin tetrahedral complexes are very less. Even if very strong ligand is present, for example, generally strong field ligand is there or weak field ligand is there, the distribution of electron will go according to Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. That means first singly they will occupy all the orbitals and then pairing will start. So that means always high spin complexes are formed in case of tetrahedral complexes. But even certain conditions, if a very strong field ligand is there, so in that case the square planar geometry may be favored. So that means if a very strong field ligand is involved in the complex formation, in that case square planar complex will be formed. Okay. So this is how the distribution of electron will take place in case of tetrahedral complexes. Okay. So this fact will be very useful during the calculation of CFSE value in case of tetrahedral complexes. So thus in this video we have discussed about the why the delta T is always less than delta naught. There are two reasons. The first reason is there are only 4 ligands in a tetrahedral complexes when compared to the octahedral complex. So the ligand field is reduced to 2/3 of the size. Therefore, the crystal field splitting is also reduced to 2/3 size. The second one is the direction of orbits do not coincide with the direction of ligands. So this reduces the crystal field splitting by roughly a further 2/3. Therefore, delta T is equal to 2/3 into 2/3 is equal to 4/9 of octahedral splitting. Therefore, delta T is equal to 4/9 of delta naught. Okay. Okay. Along with this one, we have also discussed about the distribution of electron. In case of tetrahedral complexes, the distribution of electron will always go according to Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity.